House of Representatives advocates reduction of multiple checkpoints at the Seme border and deployment of technology to enhance e-customs operations. A National Emergency Management Agency deploys immediate relief items to victims of attack in Boko's local government area of Plateau States. Plus trending news in the world of sports. A very good afternoon to you. Thank you for joining us on Panorama. We are reaching you from Abuja. I am Ogochkuka Ona. The House of Representatives is advocating a reduction of multiple checkpoints at the Seme border and deployment of technology to enhance e-customs operations and promote trade facilitation along that axis. This was when members of the House Committee on Customs visited Seme border for oversight of customs operations. National Assembly correspondent Mutaire Ikpe reports.
Customs officers keep eagle eyes at the Badagry-Seme-Krake border post, said to be one of the busiest in the country. The Seme Area Command oversees the area, yet it is prone to smuggling of contraband items. However, the command accounts for 75% of overall customs revenue, realizing 1.9 billion naira for first quarter 2025 alone. These points underscore the maiden visit by the House Committee on Customs to Seme border to look into the books of the command and assess operational challenges.
In your operations, we need to know whether it facilitates trade to encourage more patronage of our ports and border stations than our neighboring countries. Because in Night Assembly, we ordered most of these surveillance gadgets, artificial intelligence for the border, which I believe by this year some of them will arrive.
The activities of your men on this road has paralyzed the economy of Badagry. Let me put it straight to you. When you mount 15, 20, 30 roadblock on the road.
What do you do that you have accumulated over time?
A lot of insurance do that. If your members are not, in cooperation with the criminals, a lot of these crimes will not be, effective. So
every day here, we see cannabis. And when we see them, we hand over to the NTA. In Nigeria, we have 1,400 unmanned borders, 114 manned borders. So even if you line up the whole custom officers along this route, it might be quite difficult for them to eradicate smuggling.
Members of the committee saw for themselves the threat posed by ocean surge, gradually encroaching on customs facilities at the Seme border.
There's need for embankment here. In 2025 budget of custom, this must be there.
Customs officials and other security personnel work tirelessly here at the Seme-Krake border to curb smuggling activities which continue on daily basis. But there is advocacy that more men and technology are needed to effectively combat smuggling and safeguard national revenue and the economy. From Seme border, Mitaire Ikpe, NTA News.
Thank you, Mitaire. Now, state building in Nigeria's multi-ethnic context is undoubtedly complex, even though realizing national goals is doable, but requires consistent commitment and sacrifice from all citizens. This is the thrust of the 32nd inaugural lecture of the National Open University of Nigeria, delivered by Professor Ali Yusufu Bagaji. Speaking on state building experiments in Nigeria's multi-ethnic society, policy pillars for achieving per set triple national goals, the university lecturer believes that Nigeria stands to gain from periodically reassessing the outcomes of its experiments, making adjustments until negative side effects are reduced or completely eliminated.
All Nigerians, regardless of ethnicity, should prioritize the country first and foremost. Nigeria's strengths in geography, history, economics, and alliances are best realized when the nations grow together rather than apart.
I want to advise all here to find time to read this wonderful book because it contains some pertinent history.
Professor Yesufu reminds Nigerians of the concerted efforts of successive governments from pre-independence through First Republic to the military to date. But the sacrifice by Nigerians is most desirable in realizing the national goals. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has deployed immediate relief items to victims of attack in Boko's local government area of Plateau State. This is in line with the presidential directive for NEMA to move in immediately and provide succor to the victims. Ilyasu Ali Yakubu reports.
This is the third time communities in Boko's local government area of Plateau State are experiencing the government attacks that claimed many lives and property worth millions of naira destroyed. Available records indicate that 5 communities in Boko's local government area of the state were affected in the latest attack, with more than 1,000 people displaced and more than 50 others lost their lives in the attack. Houses were destroyed, while foodstuff and livestock carted away by the attackers. Some of the victims commended the federal government for the immediate response.
How do you feel? We feel very happy. We don't know that the government even know us for that far village.
I didn't know that the federal government knows us like this, and seriously, I'm very, very happy.
The NEMA Zonal Director, on behalf of the DG NEMA, Zubaida Umar, consoled the government and people of Plateau State over the tragic attack.
So the main purpose why we come to this local government is to deliver this support given by the federal government. So, and as we can see, we have started the distribution.
We have seen all those who are affected. We have been to hospitals. Now we're in the displaced camp to hand over these relief materials.
Items delivered include mattresses and mat, grains, and other condiments. The NEMA team earlier paid a condolence visit to Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutfwang, who was represented by his deputy, Josephine Pio. The NEMA team had also visited the victims at the Plateau State Hospital, currently receiving treatment. From Boko's local government area of Plateau State, Ilyasu Ali Yakubu, NTA News.
And now, talking health, as part of measures to effectively eliminate malaria in Nigeria, the National Malaria Elimination Program has signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Nigerian Medical Laboratory Science Council of Nigeria. This partnership aims to enhance the skills of medical professionals, ensuring accurate diagnosis and effective treatment. Over the years, Nigeria has depended on foreign training of malaria microscopists in the diagnosis of malaria, but now the country will be among nations to host this training. The National Malaria Elimination Program, with its Malaria-Free Nigeria mandate, has taken its campaign to the doorsteps of the Nigerian Medical Laboratory Science Council, seeking the council's support in the retraining of microscopists.
Our intervention strategy. This laboratory will serve as a hub for training both the private and public sector health facilities and research towards equipping our healthcare professionals with the knowledge and skills necessary to implement effective malaria diagnostic methodologies.
While the NMEPP brings national coordination, resources, and focus on malaria elimination, the MLSE contributes regulatory oversight, technical expertise, and a commitment to maintain a high standards in laboratory diagnostics.
42 microscopes and preservation equipment have been delivered to facilitate training. A circular of Global Network of Women under the auspices of the Red Cross, committed to fostering empowerment and sustainable livelihoods for Nigerian women, has introduced a platform to support vulnerable women in West Africa. Elizabeth Omoyi reports on the global initiative for care.
The platform, tagged Tiffany Seckle for West Africa, aims to meet the yearnings of the African woman through transformative initiatives and, by extension, provide leadership skills.
We have a lot of puissant women in Africa who can help us and who can help the other women on the field. And it's time that we move, that we stop asking money outside.
We have to really have integrity. And that is what they have been saying, that we should have a heart of giving.
Nigeria, Senegal, Ghana and Togo are countries within the West African region to amplify the objectives of the Circle to sustain livelihoods and promote humanitarian affairs to positively change critical situations facing women and children.
And I guess we would like you to be philanthropic, but more than that, we would like you to bring your energy and passion to the local Red Cross, to your local branch.
Humanitarians are enjoined to invest in critical projects to impact communities. In Abuja, Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edu, says the federal government is reviewing the 2025 budget to reflect current global economic realities, stressing that he believes that the present tariff regime of the United States of America is an opportunity to further grow Nigeria's economy. This was the unveiling of the Ministry of Finance Incorporated Corporate Governance Scorecard in Abuja. Benny Adams reports.
On the one hand, we're going back to the drawing board, looking at our budget all over again.
Nigeria's GDP has grown by 3.84%, marking its strongest growth in 3 years. Annual inflation rate dropped to 23.18%, its lowest since June 2023. In addition to food inflation easing to 23.51%, showing a resilient economy. The minister is quick to add that while Nigeria has a 14% share of the U.S. tariffs, excluding oil and minerals, the country remains an alternative destination for investment.
The Nigeria of today, with a relatively stable economy and an attractive investment environment, including attractive exchange rate, is a place where if they can't produce in Vietnam, they can come and produce in Nigeria. We're here, we're ready, we are waiting, and we have what will be attractive to them in terms of policies, in terms of market, and in terms of export capacity.
Investors are looking for credible platforms that demonstrate world-class corporate governance structures, transparency, accountability, credit ratings that are expected of such enterprises.
Stakeholders here say the launch of the Murphy Corporate Governance Scorecard is aimed at assessing, monitoring, and tracking performance of partners in ensuring all federal government-owned enterprises and government-linked companies contribute meaningfully to GDP growth, fiscal responsibility, and national development. Murphy adds that it's working towards unlocking the value of government-owned assets through recapitalization and unbundling. In Abuja, Benny Adams, NTA News.
In an effort to strengthen broadcast collaboration and form strategic alliances, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, has led a delegation of heads of government agencies to the National Association of Broadcasters Conference and workshop in Las Vegas, USA. With the theme, the technology, the trend, the future, the workshop will cover a range of topics, including artificial intelligence, cloud visualization, the creative economy, and sports production and streaming. The minister is joined by key directors general and CEOs of Nigerian broadcasting agencies, including Salihu Abdulhamid Dembos, Director General, CEO of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Ali Mohammed Ali, Managing Director, CEO of the News Agency of Nigeria, NAN, Charles Ebuebu, Director General, CEO of the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, Dr. Lekon Fadolapo, Director General of the Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria, ARCON, and Malam Jibrin Baba Ndache, Director General, CEO of Voice of Nigeria, VON. The National Association of Broadcasters Conference attracts thousands of industry leaders from around the world. And the director, Media and Protocol, Ministry of Information and National Orientation, Suleiman Haruna, acknowledges that the meeting is part of strengthening Nigeria's broadcasting sector. You are watching Panorama today. We'll now take a break. We'll be right back. The Accountant General of Bauchi State, Sirajo Mohammed Jaja, has been arraigned before a federal high court sitting in Maitama, Abuja. Jaja was arraigned alongside a bureau de change operator, Aliyu Abubakar, and his company. Others involved in the case who are currently at large include a former secretary to the Bauchi State Government, Ibrahim Kashim, the incumbent secretary to the state government, Aminu Hamayo, Saleh Mohammed, and Balarabe Abdullahi. The defendants are being prosecuted by the EFCC on a 9-count charge bordering on money laundering, diversion of public funds, and criminal misappropriation of funds to the tune of more than 8 billion naira. Following their pleading not guilty to all charges, the prosecution counsel, Abba Mohammed SAN, requested a trial date and urged the court to remand them in a correctional facility, while defense counsel Mohammed Ndayako SAN and Chris Uche SAN moved applications for their bail. After hearing both parties, Justice Iguatu granted bail to the defendants in the sum of 200 million naira each, with 2 sureties in like sum, and the sureties must be residents of Abuja, of which one must be a federal government employee not below grade level 17. Pending the perfection of their bail conditions, Jaja, the first defendant, was remanded in Kuje Correctional Center, Abuja. The case is adjourned to 17th of June for commencement of trial. The Defense Headquarters has reacted to a misleading article claiming that military generals contributed money to secure the recent release of Brigadier General Maharazu Siga, a former director, NYSC, who was held captive for 56 days. In a statement, the Director, Defense Information, Brigadier General Tukur Gusau, says the article clearly contradicts the efforts made by troops of Operation Fansanyama, who embarked on search and rescue operation to secure the release of Brigadier General Maharazu Siga. Leveraging on credible intelligence, the statement notes troops intensified manhunt for the abductors in suspected bandits' hideouts in Zamfara State, conducting attacks in addition to air operations leading to the escape of several persons abducted together with General Siga. The search for Brigadier General Siga in several other areas led to the successful rescue of 84 kidnapped victims and many bandits eliminated. The Director, Defense Information, stressed that it is only fair to recognize the significant sacrifices by troops at great risk in search of the senior officer. And now the Defense Headquarters says it will continue to leverage on the wealth of experience of its serving and veterans to curb security threats. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, stated this in a message at an event organized by the members of the 51 Regular Course Nigerian Defense Academy in Abuja. With a theme, strengthening unity to safeguard the future. And now the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Oluyemi Oluyede, says more security personnel would be deployed to Bokos local government area for safety of lives and property of citizens. Ijoma Ozuemene reports that this was during an engagement with critical stakeholders in Bokos.
The engagement with critical stakeholders from the affected communities followed disturbing security situation in Bokos local government area and its environs. The coordinated attacks on communities have led to loss of lives and property, disrupted livelihoods, and deepened divisions amongst the people. This engagement, therefore, was convened to address those issues and seek sustainable solutions for lasting peace. The Chief of Army Staff assures the people that perpetrators of the heinous act will be arrested and made to face the full wrath of the law. He asks the troops to be neutral, professional, and fair to all, irrespective of ethnicity and religion.
We can't rely permanently on kinetic approach to issues. So with that, I'm going to meet the governor of the state and deliberate with him to see how we can resolve these issues.
As part of his engagements, the Chief of Army Staff was at 332 Artillery Regiment in Shendam, where he inspected a quarter guard. In Shendam, Ijoma Ozemena, NTA.
And for stories from the sporting world, let's join Olumide Eguntola.
To develop and improve the standard of the game of football in the country, the President, Nigeria Football Federation, Ibrahim Gusso, has inaugurated the first batch of participants for the CAF B licensed coaching course at the NFF FIFA Technical Center in Abuja. The NFF president, who commended the technical department for the progress made so far and the diligence in planning the course, which attracted coaches of other nations, explained that improving the skills of the coaches for overall development of the game is the focus of the training. From Yenegoa, Timini Prioya reports that teams have qualified for the round 32 matches of the ongoing Prosperity Cup in Bayelsa State. Some results of matches played indicate that Royal All-Stars FC were eliminated via lone goal by Peace FC. Bayelsa United Feeders team pipped Solid Stars FC 2-1, and Kemfa defeated Dreams FC 3-2 on penalties at the Panchia Center, while NYC Feeders team confirmed supremacy over MFM team 2-1.
And the Lady Trend is not an easy task to carry, so they're trying their possible best. And I really appreciate them for what they are doing in Bayelsa State. We tried our very best, but the game was not in favor of us, so we have to give all glory to God. He has to receive everything that has happened. So we'll come again next time and we'll try our best.
In tennis, Jessica Pegula threatens Iga Swiatek's world number 2 ranking after winning the WTA 500 Charleston Open title. The American has won 4 titles in the past 52 weeks, in addition to 4 other finals. The large point difference held by the Polish player makes it practically impossible for her to add any point. With sports update, Olumide Eguntola, NTA News.
President Bola Tinubu extends his condolences with the Dozie family on the passing of the founder of Diamond Bank and MTN Nigeria pioneer chairman Pascal Gabriel Dozie. President Tinubu, in a statement by the special advisor to the President, Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, describes Pascal Dozie as a steadfast believer in Nigeria's vast potential, who was pivotal in shaping the financial services industry and expanding access to mobile connectivity nationwide. President Tinubu says the former director at the Central Bank of Nigeria, president of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, and chairman of the Nigerian Economic Summit Group will be remembered for his dedicated decades of service to the country. All right, and that's Panorama today. Many thanks for finding the time to watch. Good afternoon.